Hello, Capricorns. This is Adrian Igo, Capricorntigress, with Astrology, a look inside, coming to you with your astrological review and horoscope for October 2018. And this is going to be an interesting month, Capricorns. Very interesting month for us. So happy October to you and happy Halloween. So I'm going to start with the little chart that I drew up for you, Caps. Okay, and you know, I want to warn you, I'm making fish sticks right now, or fish fillets. So that might pop up and I might have to go get it, because I have a feeling I'm going to go a lot longer than 15 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever. And I just realized I have that in the oven. So be aware of that. Okay? All right. Anyway, let's start out with you know, the big thing with us. I mean, I'm a Capricorn, right? We've got Saturn and Pluto sitting in our first house. I mean, no matter where the sun is, that's the big news for us Caps. Really, it is, because it's Saturn and Pluto, okay? And Saturn's at 3 degrees and Pluto's at 18 degrees. And you know, so wherever you are in Capricorn, unless you're in the very late degrees, you're really feeling these planets being in the solar first house of Capricorn. I know I can. I feel stiffer. I feel older. I'm trying to convince myself that I'm younger. And I do look kind of young, I guess, for my age, because I'm kind of old. I ain't telling you how old I am. But I can tell that I'm aging. And that is what's going on when Saturn's in the first house. Saturn's old man time. Time is reality. Reality is now. We've got to deal with the reality of now. And Saturn reminds us of that reality often, you know. And so, yeah, my little tummy pouch and all that kind of stuff. Things happen because we get older. Pluto is an amazing planet, though, because Pluto is a great transformer. It's been sitting around our first house for a while. It's retrograded back and come forward again, and you know, it's changing us. It's transforming us. We are becoming more Plutonian as it hangs around our first house and our personality. It's literally changing our personality and who we are. And, you know, we become more powerful, and handling that power in certain situations is what becomes the issue, because Pluto can be explosive, and it just shows that there's explosive power in the sign of Capricorn. Explosive power in your personality, in you, in the very essence of you. And with Saturn there in Capricorn, even if it hasn't occurred yet, if you're on the right track and doing the right thing, that Saturn in the first house shows someone who is the teacher. I always feel of myself as a teacher. I see all you young astrologers out there doing all your young astrology stuff, probably looking at me like, that darn Capricorntigress, she don't know what she's talking about. Cha, I've been doing astrology since 1970 something. I'm not telling the exact age, but I'm old, okay? I ain't no spring chicken. I just look like a spring chicken. And that is the beauty of Capricorn and Capricorn rising and Capricorn in general. And Saturn is the great rewarder if you have been doing your Capricornian things, because, you know, it's only at 3 degrees. It hasn't actually hit the sun of a lot of Caps yet. So if you haven't been on your P's and Q's and doing what you need to do for Saturn, because Saturn demands that you work on yourself, however that is, and you know what that work is. You can feel it in your soul. You know what work you need to do. But with Saturn coming through on that first house, it is time for us to work on us. We know what we need to fix, and we need to fix it now. And whatever we fix when Saturn is in our first house will be fixed forever. Saturn puts stuff in stone. What we set the groundwork we set, the stone we built today will be the empire of tomorrow. Okay? Just remember that. Okay, so I just wanted to give you Caps that, so you know we're, no matter where the sun is, we're in power right now. And just remember, we are the authority. Okay, Caps, you are the authority. Now, Mars has been messing with Caps for a while in the second house. Mars has been messing with the money. I don't know if your money's right. Wait, I get my money right. I don't know why I always think about these songs. Mars in the second house, and Lilith is there with Mars, hanging out in the second house, messing with the money. I don't know where. Let's just hope all the issues with the money are worked out over the course of the month of October. And, you know, across the way in the 8th house, the North Node is sitting in Leo. There's the North Node in Leo, in the early degrees of Leo. And that is affecting money coming from other people, because hopefully that's what's going to happen with the North Node there, that people are starting to give you money and you're starting to get wealth, and hopefully you're taking care of things like your insurance and professional documents and all the paperwork and stuff like that, just making sure all your legal papers are together, and your partner's resources as well. This indicates your partner's resources. That can be an issue. Your partner's resources, but you know, with Mars in your second house, that's really your money. It could be your money versus your partner's issue. So start stashing away your own money. Start making your own money. Feel your own independence. Lilith there wants you to be strong, and I believe with Mars there, it also wants you to be strong, and make your own money. Okay, do your own thing. Neptune is in the 3rd house of communication. So, you know, you may be communicating, but people may not be understanding a thing you're saying. And I realize that even as I do these readings. I do these readings because I'm an intuitive astrologer. I'm a Western astrologer. And this information just comes to me. It's there, I don't know. But I don't know if everybody else follows me or understands where I'm coming from. And this is a point of pain, because Chiron is now in the 3rd house in Pisces. It just entered, retrograded into Pisces, 29 degrees, and that's our solar 3rd house. And Neptune's been hanging out in the solar 3rd house for a while, and that's retrograde too. It means all the stuff you're doing and talking about and communicating, it may be misunderstood. It may be, you know, misplaced, misforgotten, you know. People may not get you. Or get what you're communicating about, or get what you're saying, or understand your communication or speech or writing in some way. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because I believe with Neptune here, not only is your writing and speech and communication very creative, it's highly inspired. You know, Pisces is sextile Capricorns. So I could see you guys being extremely creative. You're very responsible now. With Saturn in the 1st house, you're taking things very responsibly, and you're speaking from a higher place, not from your ego. You know, it's if you're speaking from your ego, then that's not going to work. But if you're coming from that higher place, from that Neptunian place, wherever that is, that information is coming to you from places unknown. No one knows where you get that information from. Only the universe knows where you get that information from. And with Chiron coming into that 3rd house, it's going to heal this house. So whatever pains that you had with communication and being misunderstood, or not being, you know, completely understood, or not being able to get the words out the way you want to, Chiron's going to heal that now. So now, you know, you'll be able, it may still hurt, but you'll be able to speak about the hurt. You'll be able to find it, identify it, and heal it. Neptune is very healing. And I could see you healing this house, this area of communication, while it's sextile your Capricorn sun. So take advantage of that. It's not being opposed right now, and it's a great time for you to fix your communication. Now, your fifth house is another story. The fifth house has crazy Uranus going through it in Taurus. And it's like the only thing down there in the second quadrant. So it's just taking over that entire quadrant. It's just what I would say wreaking havoc in that area. And that is indeed what it's doing. And it's working in your fifth house. There's something going weird with your romance. I don't know what. You know, I don't know. Something is happening there. Your children, too. Something could have happened, you know, unique and different and strange with your children. Be aware of that. And also with your luck in general. Just luck. Taking chances. And, you know, with Uranus there, you know, everyone thinks of Uranus as always bad. What if it's good? What if it's you go out, you play the lottery, and you hit that lottery? You know, it's the fifth house is playing the lotto. Get your butt out there and play the lotto. That Taurus is trying Capricorn. It's early degrees. It's only, you know, like in 1 degree or something, 2 degrees. But that's trying Capricorn. That's a positive thing for Caps. I would take advantage of it. Do it. Okay? And then where a lot of the emphasis is happening actually in this chart is all up in the top of the chart. It's all up in the last, you know, that top quadrant. The 10th house, the 11th house. That's where everything is. The sun is there. Venus is there. Mercury is there. And they kind of ping pong between Libra and Scorpio all month long. And, you know, the good thing about this is that with you Caps, with the sun in the there's that food. Let me get that, and I can't pause it because if I pause it, I'll lose it. And we're 12 minutes in. I'm not doing that. So hold on. Okay, let me get this food. Oh my goodness. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. And man, it smells delicious. I made some fish fillets. I had a taste for fish fillets, and my sweet son-in-law went out and got fish fillets. Hey, more of that third house. That third house, son-in-law. Well, you know, that in-laws is your really ninth house, but still, extended family. Anyway, back to your chart. You have the emphasis in your career. Your career is banging. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Your career is banging. Oh, we're gonna make some money. Almost in the second house. Yes. Yes, it's trying in the 10th house. I see money in my future. I don't know about the rest of you Capricorns. And don't forget, with Saturn in the first house, what we build forever. I'm telling you right now, get your ducks in a row, because when the sun and Mercury and Venus goes from the 10th house into the 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, which is Scorpio. Ooh, girl, boy, I'm expecting my windfall. I hope you are too, because I see it coming. Not only is Jupiter already hanging out in the 11th house anyway, increasing your friends and your associates and hopefully organizations you belong to and groups you belong to and your participation in these things. You're meeting some really strong, powerful people right now. I think people that are going to help you with your career along the way. This is just the beginning. You're starting something that's going to last for a while. And like I said earlier, with that Saturn, it's only in 3 degrees of Capricorn. It has not actually touched most suns in Capricorn yet. So all of this growth is possible. And with the sun moving from Libra, going into Scorpio, all of that going in that solar 11th house, hopes, dreams, wishes, all through our friends, groups, associations, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, Snapchat, all of that. Do it, do it, do it. It's time. It's time. If you've been working in online business, it's time. It's time. And at the end of October, you're going to start seeing, you're going to start reaping the rewards. You're manifesting the rewards The sun is up there shining, and Venus is up there shining, and Mercury is up there shining, and Jupiter is up there shining. And girl, boy, you're shining. Okay. All right. Now, this has been my reading for Capricorns and my take, my personal insight on Capricorns for the month of October. But what I've been doing for all the signs is also giving an astrological overview of the events of the month and how they will affect you and where they fall in your chart, and just making sure I didn't miss anything important for the month of October, because I don't want to miss a thing, especially for myself. And when I do this, I'm thinking of someone else and not so much myself. But when I go back over it and look, I realize I'm talking to myself as well, because someone needs to talk to me, because I also got Neptune in the third house. Okay. All right. So this month, it starts out with that moon issue. There's going to be a moon square sun issue. And that's because the moon is going to be in Cancer on the 2nd, and the sun is going to be in Libra. And that Libra, of course, is your career, and that Cancer is your work. Okay, so your work life is going to be in some stressful situation with your career, your image. Make sure nothing happens to affect your image in a negative light, or your reputation in a negative light. Make sure you've got all your ducks in a row, your I's dotted, your T's crossed, you're doing everything above board, and you're putting out your best work. Feel good about the work that you put out, because this is showing stress from the work that you do to your career, which is the image and how people see the work that you do. On the 3rd of October, Mercury is square Pluto. And Mercury is up in Libra, in that 10th house again, and that's squaring Pluto, which is us in Capricorn. So it's something about that career, that Mercury, the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you communicate, may be affected because of that Pluto. And that's what I was trying to say in the beginning about Pluto. Pluto in the first house makes a person very powerful, but how one handles that power, that's where it gets to be a problem. Sometimes you might say or do something so quickly, so snap, out, you don't even know that you said something or did something that offended someone. So please be aware that you might say or do something that offends someone. I tend to do that. A lot of Capricorns can do that. Insert mouth, open mouth, insert foot. Tiger, insert foot. I'm known for it. Be aware. This is something that can really happen. That day it can be a problem because your opinions are strong, and someone might have strong opinions that don't agree with them. They might not get along or agree with a thing you are saying. Be aware that this can happen. That's October 3rd. On October 5th, Venus retrogrades, and that retrograde is occurring in Scorpio at 10 degrees of Scorpio, and that always indicates a problem whenever Venus retrogrades with love. It could just indicate that there is going to be a major love problem for some people. And, hopefully that's not going to be you and your love life. But Venus is retrograding in Scorpio, and Scorpio is up in your 11th house of hopes and dreams and wishes and things like that. But that's opposing your 5th house of romance. So your romance could be affected by the things that are happening in this early time of this retrograde in Venus. It's not happy when it's in Scorpio, and it's, retrograding. So please be aware of that this can somehow affect your 5th house of romance, and your romances might seem like they're going astray. So you need to fix that. And just be aware of it. It's just not a good time to start a new romance or get married or make new commitments or anything like that, because you might not feel the same after this retrograde is over anyway. So on October 7th, Saturn is in conjunct the true node. That happened at about 11 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. But, that Saturn's at 3 degrees of Capricorn, and the Leo North Node is at 3 degrees. So usually those in conjunction are quincunx. I never say that right. That's why I like in conjunct better. Quincunx sounds so weird. Anyway, that's like a creative angle. That's creativity. There's some kind of creative thing going on, Capricorn and Saturn. That's our first house, and it's affecting Leo, which is our 8th house. So something about, you know, our personality or something. It's going to create some type of creative thing with us maybe earning money. So maybe we'll hold a seminar or something that day, make money. So maybe a good day to try something like this, something unique. On October 8th, there's a new moon, and it's in Libra. Ooh, now that's going to be squaring us, Caps, but it's going to be squaring us from our 10th house of career. Smack dab in Libra at 15 degrees and 48 seconds. And, you know, the fact that it's Libra means that it's a time for us to work on our relationships and, you know, with our partnerships, especially if they're business partnerships, because, you know, Libras are 10th house of career. But just getting along with people and smoothing things over. Libra is very diplomatic, and they're great mediators and arbitrators, and I can see like just smoothing things over, and parties and good times. And it brings, I think Libra is a good time thing. And so use that new moon to start something new and creative in the area of your career, because I can see if you start something creative right there, when that new moon on the 8th of October, that is going to really pan out, you know, should pan out fairly well when the moon is full on the 24th. And we'll talk about that in a little while. But that new moon in Libra, balance. It's time to balance out your career. You might need to work on the work-life balance. You know that if you're working all the time on your career and not getting enough sleep, I know what that feels like. You need to fix that. I know I need to fix that. So we need to fix that. So fix that. Okay? And that new moon in Libra is going to help to fix that area and really do something new and unique in that area. And there's going to be something's going to happen because it's a square, and so it's action of some kind, and it will be affecting many people because it's right in the middle of Libra. So on October 9th, Mercury enters Scorpio, and you know that Mercury means it's going to be in the 11th house. It's sextile us, and it's positive. It means, you know, something, hopefully communications are going to start to flow. Feel a flow with the communications. And then on the 10th of October, Mars is square Venus. Now Mars is in Aquarius, as I mentioned, down in the 2nd house, and that's going to square Venus that's up in that 11th house. So the 2nd house and the 11th house, your hopes and dreams, your wishes, your money. Ooh, your money's the 2nd house. But you know, the crazy thing is that the 11th house is the natural house of Aquarius. So it's almost like it's going to be squaring its own house in your chart. Something unique, I think, will happen, but I don't think it's going to be negative, even though it's a square. I think it, you know, it may just mean activity and action, maybe some friction. And like I said earlier, Lilith is down there in the 2nd house as well. So it just can be something sudden. But I don't know if it's necessarily bad, because all of that Scorpio sextiles Capricorn, and Jupiter's in Scorpio right now anyway. I just think it just may be something unique and, you know, out of the blue. So do be aware of that, you know, when it occurs. Now, the sun is in Libra square that Pluto in Capricorn, and that Pluto is in the 1st house, and the sun is in the solar 10th. So again, our personalities and our careers, you know, somehow our personality is going to spur on something in that career area. It could indicate some power struggles, of course, you know, people having power struggles with us, or if we have to work for someone at that time, it may be that, we come on a little strong with Pluto in the first house, and that could cause a power struggle. I could see how that could be a problem. The sun in Libra likes things pleasant. The sun in Libra, with all of those other emphasis that have been in Libra, it really likes things to be copacetic. Just chill, relax, and keep it balanced. Balance is everything with Libra. And if you can manage to practice that during the month of October, you're gonna master this month. Now, on the 15th, Mercury in Scorpio is conjunct Venus in Scorpio. So there's going to be even more emphasis in Scorpio, in that sextile, in that solar 11th house. That is the hopes and dreams and wishes and friends. And, I just see all kind of crazy things and parties and things happening that you might get invited to, because there's going to be a lot of birthdays. I have a feeling in the month of October with all of this emphasis in Scorpio and Libra. But that's also a day when you can just start investigating and looking into things and checking out your friends, and just get into if you've been arguing with any of your friends, I would use that day to fix it. Just work out whatever issues you have with them. That day, I think it would be a good day, because Venus and Mercury are both very positive planets, and they're going to be in a fairly positive house for you guys. And I just think it's a good day to work out any issues you might have, and make friends, break bread. On the 19th, Mercury trines Neptune. And Mercury is going to be in Scorpio. And Neptune is in Pisces. That is your 11th house and your 3rd house. That is maybe communicating with friends, or even your brothers or sisters or some, extended relatives. But it could be some communication or something that happens with, with your friends. Because what happens is that it's going to end up squaring Mars. And somehow that's going to affect your money. And I don't know, or your 2nd house. And I don't know how that's going to all play out with Mars in the 2nd house. But just be aware that there could be some arguments. Don't start arguing with your friends over something you done talked about. You want to be right about it. And next thing you know, you're arguing with somebody. It's just not worth it. Do not do that. That is on the 19th. So be aware of that day, okay, that could happen. Because it's not worth it to argue with anybody. Especially like if you're in a group or something. People post on Facebook, they always want to be right about something. That is just not the day to do that. It'll just be ugly, and bad arguments might start up. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio. And, there we go. More of that 11th house again. More of that emphasis on your friends and on those groups and on doing things, socially, because that's the social house. There could be some things going on there, because Scorpio is very secretive. So there might be some things that are secret that are happening with groups and stuff like that. Or it could be some kind of emotion, like you might have emotions of some kind that are connected to, these groups or associations or your friends. But it's a way though, but I don't think it's negative. Again, it's sextile Capricorn. So all of this emphasis in Scorpio is sextile Capricorn. All of this emphasis is good. All of it. It might be, it's something to do with your friends. It just may be that your friends turn to you. They know you can keep a secret. They know they can trust you, and they do. And that is beautiful. And it could be that you just figure out, who you can trust, as far as friends go. Now, on the 24th, there's a full moon the very next day in Taurus. So one day, the sun goes into Scorpio. The next day, the full moon is in Taurus, the opposite side. And so that is going to put the emphasis down in the 5th house of romance. And it's full. Now, I hope that on the day before you didn't find out one of your friends is messing with your man. Because it's going to be a full moon in the 5th house. Let's hope it's good. I'm going to look more positively. We're going to say that full moon is going to make that a happy occasion. Okay, because that could be full moon, or emotions having to do with like parties and fun and games and gambling and going to the casino and winning or something like that, or winning the lotto. I'm always thinking lotto. I've got to play, I'm telling you. Hilarious. I'm telling you, Caps, play the lotto. Please do that this month. If anyone wins, please post and tell me that you won, because I don't know why it just keeps coming to me about this lotto. And you can't see this chart, but all month long, Uranus acts almost like a handle. Like it's the only thing over there in that second quadrant. There's nothing over there but Uranus. And it's in your 5th house. And it's going to activate that when that full moon comes. That's going to be activated. It's going to be right on it. Just be aware of that. Something unique. Make it money. Or make it fun. Make it something big. Make it something good. Okay? So that could happen that day. Be aware of that. On the 26th of October, the Sun in Scorpio is going to be conjunct Venus in Scorpio. So more Scorpio, Venus. Now the Sun's on Venus. And, all this relationship stuff all month long in October. But really, you're just going to have a lot of intense talking maybe, and love, and issues about love. Now, you might not be satisfied with love, but you'll be dealing with it. Because Scorpio means you go in head first, you deal with it, you dig in, and you investigate, you fix it. Scorpio, they go in where no man fears to tread, and they fix things. That's what Scorpio does. They dig in deep, they find the problem, they fix the problem. If there's a solution to be found, Scorpio will find it. And that's your 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes. They are the natural detectives of the zodiac. And Scorpios will be detecting for you, hopefully detecting what will help you achieve your greatest achievement, because that's your hopes and dreams and wishes, right? You'll be very intense about it. On the 29th, Sun in Scorpio is going to trine Cancer. And even though that Cancer is opposing Capricorn, the Sun in Scorpio is sextile Capricorn. Now, the Cancer will be our solar 6th house. That's work. So, that trine, with the Sun in Scorpio sextiling us, and then it trining the 6th house, I think that's going to be positive. I do. I think if you've been working on something and it hasn't helped you to get to what your goals are, you're going to be able to scrap that and move on to whatever you need to move on to achieve your highest goals and your highest good. You are working toward that this month. And I believe when it goes into Cancer, as far as your work is concerned, you're going to have a little boost there from the Sun. And it's going to help you to hopefully flow with that work life and balance that out. It's all about that this month, I think. Now, on the 30th, Mercury is going to enter Sagittarius, and that is the solar 12th house. That is, thinking privately more so than thinking publicly, or, thinking with your friends. Because I think most of October we're going to be like brainstorming with other people, talking with other people, and dealing with other people, communicating with other people. But when Mercury goes into Sagittarius on the 30th, I think we're going to want to pull in some of our communication, because it's a little deeper. And you're going to get some big ideas. Now, the thing is, when you get these ideas, and if they're in the 12th house like that, are you going to work? Are you going to actually manifest those ideas? Write them down, record them, make sure you don't lose them. Because I think you're going to get some great ideas probably on the 30th or around the 30th. It's right around Halloween. You're going to have some great ideas on that day. And I hope that you write it down. I don't know if you should accomplish anything for the 30th, but you can definitely take notes for future reference, because you'll be something creative coming from deeper in the universe, somewhere unexpected, because it's the 12th house. So that's coming from a deeper place of intelligence. And that'll happen on the 30th. Then on the 31st, happy Halloween, everyone. Venus is going to leave Scorpio, and Venus is going into Libra because it's retrograde. It's retrograding into Libra. And all those issues, you know, that anyone had with love during the month, you'll be able to work on that again, because it's retrograding back, so you can work on it. Whatever has been going wrong, hopefully you'll get to work on it at the end of the month and really start to fix whatever those problems have been. Because it's easy to talk about love when Venus is in Libra. And also Venus is going to be opposite Uranus on that day as well. So it might be a little rough time, but you might just need to sit down and talk it out. Talk out whatever the problem is with love. Whatever the problem is with love. Talk it out. It is trine Capricorn. Whatever is going on with that, your crazy Uranus, it's trine Capricorn. You know, for the most part, work it out. Talk it out. And do that. And go for your highest hopes, dreams, and wishes, because that's where all the emphasis really is. It's up at the top in the 11th house. Okay? Maybe your friends will help walk you through things, or maybe doing things with friends will help keep your mind off of stuff in your relationship or anything going crazy with your partner. And your partner can go crazy this month. Please be aware of that, especially on the full moon in Taurus on the 24th. It's important to know that. Okay, well, this was my reading for you Caps. Us Caps. For the month of October 2018. I have read the Capricorn essence for the month of October. And may you guys have a great month of October and a wonderful Halloween. I hope you do something fun during the month and enjoy the party time, because a lot of signs are going to be partying in the month of October. Okay, you guys, much love, much light to all of you.